Welcome to this edition of High School Rewind, available on Xfinity On Demand. The Dane here at the Den to bring you tonight's contest between the Roy Royals and the Logan Grizzlies. Thank you for joining us, everyone. As I mentioned, Dane Stewart here, excited to bring you this Region 5 battle between a couple teams that are jockeying for position and potentially a region title here in Region 5. Let's start first with the visiting Roy Royals. This is a team that got off to a little bit of a slow start out of the gate in non-region play. Looked like they were missing their stud from last year, Burkott Chapman, but they came into region play and they went 4-0 right out of the gate, and it looked like Roy was a tough out here in Region 5. Since then, they've lost a pair of games, including a real tough one against the Bonneville Lakers, a game in which they were outscored 16-4 in the final frame. They would lose that 49-41. Leading the way this year for the Royals is the future Dixie State commit on the gridiron, that being Cody Hobbs. Also leads the team here on the hardwood in scoring, averaging nearly 15 points per game. Also one of the better three-point shooters for the Roy Royals. Mr. Hobbs he is Mr. Roy, seems to do it all for the black and gold. He's got a nice supporting cast around him, including guys like Blake Lamb and Dakota Nalder. This is a team that returns a lot of starters and a lot of experience off of last year's squad, and they look to utilize that here this year. We mentioned a couple game losing streak, trying to right that wrong. A name to watch out for tonight as well is Jacob Payne. This is a kid who, in their first meeting against these very Logan Grizzlies, scored 24 points, a game high that night, as he hit 6 3-pointers. They could really use him to step up and shoot the ball like that here tonight on the road. This Logan Grizzlies squad has been a team of runs for the Grizzlies. They won 9 games out of the gates, 9-0 to start. And then they hit a little bit of a lull. They lost 4 straight. But then their leader, Tyler Brimhall, the future Idaho Vandal, he has really found his stride these last couple games. They've won 5 straight since that point, and Brimhall's led the way, averaging 24 points over that 5-game win streak. He comes in tonight leading the team in scoring, averaging about 20 points per, and has been the leader all year long and looks to do so again here tonight. He also has a nice supporting cast in Jackson and Jason Anderson. These two, Jackson second on the team in scoring and leads the team in rebounding. Meanwhile, Jason at the guard position, the leading assist man and leading steals man for these Logan Grizzlies. We mentioned these two teams have already played. It was a Roy Royal victory in double overtime, 69-67, an absolute classic down at Roy High School. The Logan Grizzlies looking to protect their home court here at the Den and avenge an earlier loss, as both these two teams, as we mentioned, in a very tight Region 5. Only one game separates the number 1 and number 4 seeds here out of this region. Tonight's game, really important in trying to maintain the position that you currently have. With that intro now, we'll send you down to the floor for tonight's opening tip. Ready to tip here at Logan High School. Roy in the highlighted black uniforms and Logan in the home white, as this tip controlled by the Grizzlies. And they will start with the possession. James Larson, top of the key with Jason Anderson. Number 11 right there, that's Jason. Brimhall came underneath on some screens along the baseline, defended well by Cody Hobbs. Be a good matchup to watch. Hobbs chasing him around all night. Underneath, all alone, going glass, couldn't get the finish by Brad Newhouse. He set the screen for Brimhall, left him all alone. It was an excellent find. Just couldn't finish the play, as now Nalder able to find Lamb underneath. And that shot, no good for the senior Lamb. Then turned over. It's Jacob Payne with it now. Excuse me, I called him Nalder. That's Payne, my bad. Near side to the sophomore, Winton Lamar, 6'2", 205. Good young player for these Roy Royals. Drive by Payne, cut off well. Able to get the shot away, but it's too hard, and James Larson brings it down. Up the floor quickly is Anderson to lay it in for the first points of the night. That's the junior point guard, Jason Anderson. Talked about him in the open. Good player. Just a junior, averaging 9 points per contest. Gets the first of the game. Is that shot no good by Payne? Ball is out. Officials say off of the Grizzlies. It'll stay here with Roy. Payne able to inbound to Lamar and count the bucket. As we have a foul on the play, Winton Lamar nets the deuce and will head to the line. Foul was called on Larson, his first personal, as Lamar able to give the Royals the early lead, 3-2 here, just a minute and a half into the contest. Larson with it here near side, now in the post, kicked out to Anderson. Nice play to save the possession there by Jason Anderson. Straight away, three-point shot, good for James Larson. The senior hits his first field goal of the evening. It's a three-pointer and the lead back to Logan. As the students share their appreciation for the senior guard. Again, Lamar looking to drive. Good defense, kicked out, and instead he stepped on the baseline. It'll be turned over. Good idea. Would have had the uncontested three that time for Nate Jones, a high flyer for the Royals, but turned it over instead. Now, underneath on that baseline was Jackson Anderson. Passed out, and James Larson able to drive to the hoop. 5 points here early on for James Larson, leading the way. Lamb looking to drive. Boy, surprised we didn't get a call there, as going to the floor was Jackson Anderson. And now a dual possession here. The arrow will keep it here with Roy. Payne to inbound, does so up top to Lamb. Popular basketball name amongst the Roy tradition. Has had brothers come through, this being the senior year for Blake Lamb. Payne being hounded defensively by Newhouse. Now Cody Hobbs with it. 5 minutes left here in the opening quarter, 7-3, Logan out in front. As Cody Hobbs with a fake. Tried to dish it off underneath to Lamar. That ball on the floor. Eventually, it's the Grizzlies who had it, and then unable to control it was Anderson. Up top with Nate Jones being guarded by Brimhall. Now Payne, nice find to Lamar. And all 5 Roy points now at the hands of the sophomore Winton Lamar. Swung around, three-pointer on the way. Newhouse shot no good, as Payne will chase that down and bring it up the floor for Roy. Hobbs made a cut through the key. Now it's Lamar again. Good movement without the ball for Winton Lamar. And the sophomore bursting on the scene, as we're now tied up at 7. All 7 points for Lamar. Just a sophomore, bright future for this kid. Kicked out, nice little jab step there by Anderson. Now the step away shot, left it short, rebounded by Newhouse, and then taken away by Lamb. Up the floor. Lamar back to Lamb. Beautiful pass, assist by Winton Lamar. As Blake Lamb, the senior forward, gives the lead back to Roy. Brimhall with it. His first shot of the game, no good. Rebounded by Newhouse, and the putback for the senior Brad Newhouse. Good pace here early on, as Lamb with it again here. Now Payne. Boy, just suffocating defense by Newhouse as Jones had to pass out. A long three by Payne. Certainly had the distance as it skipped across the rim. It's Jackson Anderson with the board. Brimhall now from 15, no good. Rebound, and then a foul called here underneath on Jason Anderson. First foul on Jason Anderson, second team foul on Logan. As Riley Griffiths, the 6'7 senior, is checked in for Logan. That shot no good on the Hobbs drive. He was looking for some help from the officials. No help to be found. Beautiful pass underneath to Newhouse, shot blocked, and now it's Roy running the other way. Jones to Hobbs, and that pass couldn't be corralled and turned over. 2:30 left here in our opening quarter, 9 apiece between Logan and Roy. And now a whistle away from the ball. This is going to be a foul called against the Royals. It'll be on Hobbs, his first. Dakota Nalder has checked in for Roy. Meanwhile, Justin Hyder checks in for his first action tonight for Logan. Griffiths with the baseline jumper. Good. And it's 11-9. Lamar with some space. Back to Lamb off the screen. Long jumper and good for Blake Lamb. Down the other way is Anderson with it. And he answers Blake Lamb. Long 19-footer there for Jason. Excuse me. I was going to say Jason. It was Jackson Anderson. Going to struggle with that one all night. Nearly stolen. Hobbs able to pick it up. Pump fake the three. Now able to regain and fire. Shot no good. Ball batted for underneath, and it will be out of bounds off of Roy. Griffiths with it. As that pass deflected out. Inbounded to Jackson Anderson. Nice play, going strong to the hoop for the senior. As now Logan holding on to a 15-11 lead, 1 minute left here in the opening quarter. Jones looking to drive baseline, and Nate Jones able to cash in for his first points of the ball game. Jason Anderson trying to get it back to Hyder, and then a jump ball. Nice job defensively by Roy, as it will remain here with Logan. Griffiths to inbound for the Grizzlies. Does so along the baseline to Jackson, and then a foul called on Dakota Nalder. It will be his first. Inbounded to Jason Anderson. Wide open three. Good for the guard. Jason Anderson, 5 points unofficially for the junior. And a 5-point Logan lead. Jones with it. Griffiths guarding him. Now Lamar. Hobbs trying to answer. Can't do it. Brimhall able to corral the rebound. It's Jackson Anderson over to Jason. 10 seconds left here. Logan with a chance to add to their lead. Griffiths puts it on the floor over Jason for three again. That shot no good. Rebound tapped by Nalder. Horn sounds. That will not count. Quarter comes to a close. The Grizzlies looking strong at home. 18-13 over Roy after one. Roy basketball to start this second quarter. Trailing by 5. Jones with it over to Lamb. Logan in a bit of a zone defense here. Three-pointer on the way for Nalder. Dakota Nalder, his first bucket of the night. Good ball movement there by the Royals, trying to shift that Logan zone D, able to get the open shot for the senior. Now it's Brimhall with it, looking to drive baseline. Tough shot. That hits the back of the iron and drops for the future Vandal. Pass up to Jones. Boy, had Lamar cutting, but it's good defense to deny the passing lane. Again, you see that cross-court pass, extra pass to Jones, able to save it. Skip to Jones, and boy, it looked like he may have got tripped up. No calls. They say it's out off of Jones. It'll be Logan ball. James Larson brought it up the floor. Has it again here. Hyder out to Larson. Three-pointer for Brad Newhouse. Back of the iron. That ball tried to be saved by Larson. Didn't establish himself back inside the boundary, so it will be turned over to Roy. Logan with some token pressure. Roy able to break it. There's now Payne with it, driving inside. That one just rolled off the rim for Jacob Payne, and now Logan back up the floor quickly here. Brimhall with the long jumper. Back of the iron. Rebound goes right into the awaiting hands of Riley Griffiths. Three-pointer from Larson, no good. Able to get the board. Nearly turned it over. Instead, it's Newhouse with the drive. That one knocked away. Able to save it to a cutting Griffiths. Can't hit the shot. And now it's Cody Hobbs who brings it out the other way. Fancy behind the back, was looking to pass it. And instead, it's Tyler Brimhall who gets fouled before the break could occur. Foul was on Blake Lamb, his first personal, third team foul for the Roy Royals. Only 2 team fouls for Logan. Larson with it. Again, that perimeter passing, trying to find a spot to go. Anderson nearly turned it over, and instead it's Griffiths who does. Jacob Payne, the junior forward, brings it up the floor for Roy, over to Lamar. Looking to drive, does so right into traffic, and that is deflected by Hyder, out of bounds off of Logan. Good defense by the junior postman Hyder that time, as he was just straight up, didn't allow for the shot to get away. Lamb drew contact, and this will be called on Hyder. It'll be Roy ball. First foul on Hyder. 5.5 left here in the first half. 20-16, the Logan advantage. Lamb with it, near side. Back up top it goes to Nate Jones. Jones with the crossover, nearly went to the floor, able to pass it to Lamar. Lamar now trying to drive again to the hoop. Count the bucket again for Winton Lamar as he gets fouled, and will head to the line again trying for the three-point play. Second foul on Justin Hyder. Fourth team foul on the Grizzlies as Winton Lamar at the line. Shot no good. Rebounded by Hyder, and it's a 20-18 ball game. Hyder with it at the elbow. Kicked out to Larson. And trying to pass it out to Griffiths as that was deflected out off of Roy. Ball inbounded to Jackson. Cross-court pass to Larson. Now Hyder in the post, kicks out. Jackson now with the drive. That shot no good. Put back by Hyder, can't hit it. And it's Winton Lamar with the board underneath. Opportunity for Roy to take a lead. We've been trailing since about midway in that first quarter. As the three-pointer by Cody Hobbs no good. Rebounded by Jackson. And up the floor now with James Larson. Tyler Brimhall for three, front of the iron. As Nalder with the board, now being hounded by Anderson in a jump ball situation. Jason Anderson is checked back in for Logan as Jackson with the entry and the three-pointer. 7 points for the senior forward, Jackson Anderson. The lead back up to 5 for Logan. Nate Jones with it here near side. Cross-court pass to Payne. Hobbs trying to work the blocks. And that nearly stolen by Brimhall. It's out of bounds off of Logan. Officials letting them play here on this end. Not afraid to allow a bit of a physical game. Lamar with a long jumper, front of the iron. It's Hobbs with the board, can't hit the follow. And then that ball out of bounds off of Roy. It will be Logan basketball. Larson to Brimhall, corner three. Good for Tyler Brimhall. It's been a slow night scoring the ball for the senior, now with 5 points unofficially. A big three-pointer there, and the lead up to 8, the largest of the game for the Grizzlies. As Nalder looking to drive, that shot no good, rebounded by Newhouse and back up the floor. Then nearly turned over. How about Brimhall not giving up and eventually able to save the possession as Jackson trying to go underneath and threw it away. Dakota Nalder able to recover well for Roy. Cody Hobbs baseline, pass back to Winton Lamar, and Lamar to the bucket. Count it, and the foul. And Winton Lamar looking for contact, found it. Is the foul going to be called here on Jackson Anderson? Winton Lamar at the line, free throw, no good. Rebounded by Newhouse, trying to go up the floor quickly as it was Cody Hobbs able to save it. Yes, eventually. And then a foul here going to be called as it was Nate Jones right at the timeline. Got pushed by Brad Newhouse. First foul on Newhouse, 16th foul on Logan. So very quickly, Roy will be shooting free throws for the rest of the half as Hobbs directing traffic. Able to get it to Lamar. Back to Lamb. Hobbs, and we've got an illegal screen set by Lamb on the play. Shot is no good. New entry for the Royals, number 24. Don't have a 24 on our roster. We'll do our best to get that to you. It might be Daniel Palize, but we will have to confirm that. Jackson passing out of the post. Griffiths. Jackson tried the long jumper, couldn't hit it, and then out of bounds was Jason Anderson. Again, didn't establish himself back in the area of play. Hobbs with it. Trying to go to the hoop, had that one knocked out of his possession. As now Logan brings it up the floor. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. 26-20, the Grizzly advantage. Larson with it. Over to Jason Anderson. And now Logan will look to reset things. Brimhall running circles away from the ball, trying to find some space. Jackson now with it, working against 24. Good cut away from the basket by Jason. Couldn't finish the play, had a really good look underneath. It's down to 1:20 left. Hobbs with it. Trying to bang with Anderson, and Cody Hobbs. Been a tough half for the senior guard. Leads the team in scoring. Just his first bucket there for Roy. Is the lead now for Logan, cut to 4. Under 1 minute left here in the second quarter. It's Jackson over to Jason. Now he'll dribble it out. Cody Hobbs happy to provide some space. Tyler Brimhall with the pump fake. Finds Jackson underneath, and Jackson Anderson. A solid night, 9 points for the senior. That's a beautiful find by Tyler Brimhall. Able to find his senior counterpart. Winton Lamar. Picks up right at the elbow. Baseline jumper, no good, and rebounded by Brimhall. As Logan will have a chance for the final shot here again to end the first half. 10 seconds left. Nearly stolen. It's James Larson to Brimhall. Checks out the clock and then threw it away. Hobbs will get the three-quarter court shot off, but that was too powerful. He is a football player. First half comes to a close. It's 28-22. Logan out in front.
High School Rewind is excited to have Nudge as our Player of the Game sponsor. Nudge is one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. With over 500 employees, Nudge is one of the largest contributors of volunteer community outreach programs. To learn more about Nudge and their program, visit www.nudge.com.
Second half underway, and it's Winton Lamar who led the way in the first half. We'll start this possession with the basketball as he drives and traveled with it. Good D by Brimhall that time. Lamar led all scorers with 11 points in that first half. Absolutely stellar first half for the Roy Royals here on the road. Larson able to find Jackson underneath, and it's Jackson Anderson with his first points of the second half. Now he has 11, tied with Winton Lamar for the game high. And our apologies to Mr. Anderson. We've seen Jackson and Jackson. We're going to go with Jackson from here on out and hope that's okay with big number 20. Lamb with it, trying to feed Hobbs, and there's Jackson to come away with it. Over to James Larson now for the Grizzlies with an 8-point lead. And that ball Knocked away by Hobbs. Trying to get it up the floor to him. Larson able to break it up nicely and take it away from Roy. And now numbers for Logan if they hurry. In the corner, three-pointer on the way for Jason Anderson. No good. As there's Hobbs to knock it away from Larson. Feeds it over. Now on the drive is Payne. Reverse lay-in. Good for Jacob Payne. His first points of the ball game. Mentioned he had 24 in the first meeting between these two teams. Now 30-24 advantage for the home squad. Now Jason will back it out a little bit. Jackson in the post. One-handed over Lamb. And Jackson Anderson's great night continues. Here's Lamb, able to lay it in the other way as Jackson was trying to draw some contact to call. Nothing coming. We've seen that already in this ball game where contact, player hits the deck and no whistle. Trying to go into Jackson, able to punch it out to Newhouse for three. That shot no good, and Lamb with the board as Jackson gets called for the foul on the reach. Jones, skip pass over to Lamb. And out to Payne, being guarded by Newhouse. Blake Lamb going to try the three-pointer, no good as Larson. Now numbers for Logan, up the floor to Jason Anderson, lays it up and in. 7 points for the junior guard, Jason Anderson. So the lead back up to 8. So Logan students trying to cheer on their Logan High D. Hobbs kicks out. Winton Lamar was looking to go the way of Jones, broken up by Brimhall. Quickly down the floor the other way. And he turned it over as he was trying to get over to Jason Anderson. Looked like he may have taken a hit right to the face. Kicked out, three-pointer by Payne, no good. Rebounded by Lamb as he creates some space. Count the bucket and the foul as Blake Lamb will head to the line. Lamb at the line trying to convert the three-point play, and that one just rimmed out on him, rebounded by Brimhall. There's a third foul on Jackson Anderson. He had to check out. Justin Hyder has come in for the Grizzlies to replace Jackson. Newhouse, bit of a double team there, able to dribble out of it. Now back up top to Larson. Larson with it, Hyder trying to work the paint. Winton Lamar guarding him. Bit of a size advantage there for Hyder at 6'7". Lamar only 6'2". Couldn't get him the ball though. It was good D in the post. Larson for three. That one's good for James Larson. His first point since the first quarter now gives Logan a 9-point lead, their largest advantage of the ball game as we are midway through this third quarter. Lamb looking to drive baseline, pass it over to Winton Lamar. That shot no good. Brimhall able to tip it up in the air, saved by Larson as he will now bring it up the floor to run the Logan offense. Brimhall with the pump fake. Back over to Larson, straight away three. Front of the iron, rebounded by Winton Lamar. As Roy now looking to bring it up the floor. Hobbs able to draw the foul. This will be called on Jason Anderson. Second personal on Jason Anderson. Third team foul on the Grizzlies here in this second half. In the corner with Jones, able to get it out to Hobbs. Just 6 inches inside a three-pointer. Hobbs, 4 points now on the ball game. 37-30, able to find Hyder underneath. Lamb got a piece of the rock and made it a difficult shot for Hyder. As now Roy comes away with the possession. Payne lost it. Brimhall tripped up, trying to chase it down, couldn't get there. Bodies all over the floor right now. No call anywhere, and eventually a timeout taken by Logan, and the Roy staff is furious with the officials as Brimhall is still down. Good football game here at Logan High School. Had some good tackles. Really lowering the shoulder, leading the way both ways as Logan granted the timeout and the possession, leading here by 7. Here's Jackson Anderson back into the ball game, trying to feed it over to Jason. Jason somehow came out with it, and then, no, he couldn't get called for the travel. As Logan fans can't believe it. Jacob Payne brings the ball up the floor for Roy. Over to Dakota Nalder. Screen set there by Lamb. Straight away three by Nalder, no good. Rebounded by Brimhall, and back up the floor it comes for the Logan Grizzlies, leading by 7 here. 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Near side. Three-pointer on the way. Count it for Brad Newhouse. His first triple of the game. 5 points and a timeout taken by Coach McClure and the Roy Royals. 10-point advantage for the Grizzlies. And that ball just stolen away. Up and throw it down. Brad Newhouse with the steal. Finishes the play strong. And it's 42-30, and then a travel called on Roy. And finally, some wattage in this cottage here at the Den. It's 42-30. Logan out in front thanks largely to Brad Newhouse. 5 points here in this third quarter. A big three, and then the dunk. As here's Griffiths with it. Boy, had Newhouse cutting to the hoop. Instead, gives it to Brimhall. Three-pointer, Tyler Brimhall. 8 points for the senior. And now Logan really opening it up as Winton Lamar with the drive. Foul on the floor. It will be Roy ball out. Jones to inbound, looking for somewhere to go. Finds Lamb. And that ball knocked away by Brimhall. No, they're going to call the foul actually on Hyder, I believe. Fourth foul on Hyder. He will head to the bench. Is at the line, Blake Lamb. Good on both free throws, 45-32. Lamb has 6 of the 10 Royal points here in the third. Underneath, as we've got a foul on the play. Foul called on Dakota Nalder, his second personal. It's away from the play, hence the Logan basketball inbound. 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Logan has just ballooned this lead, and now there's a breakup by Nalder. Lays it up and in. Dakota Nalder. Nice job defensively there, able to finish strong despite the Grizzly bearing down on him. It is true, Grizzlies can outrun humans. 45-34. Is now down to 30 seconds remaining in the third. Jackson with it near midcourt. Happy to hold it here. Logan's had a big advantage scoring here in the third quarter. They've done this multiple times this season. And sometimes they've failed to hold on to leads. His three-pointer there, no good. Rebounded by Lamar. Tried to throw it up the floor, couldn't do it. Now how about that alley-oop to Tyler Brimhall. Beautiful find that time by Griffiths as the full court shot nearly good, but it won't be. And boy, a furious third quarter put on by the Grizzlies. 47-34 as we head to the fourth. 13-point Logan advantage as we start the fourth quarter. Roy really needing to lock down defensively here. They come out aggressive with some trap D as Brimhall with it now. Able to dribble through it. Fancy ball handling there by the senior guard. Now Roy in a little bit more of a traditional man D here. Jackson with it, nowhere to go. Hands back off to Brimhall. Guarding him is Lamar. No, it's Jones, excuse me. 20 and 21. I've done that multiple times tonight. Jones nearly with the steal on Brimhall. And now we have a whistle away from the ball. It'll be a timeout taken here by Logan. Inbounded into the backcourt to Jason Anderson. Jackson hands off to Brimhall. Pull up from the elbow. And Tyler Brimhall now with 12 points in the ball game. He's had a nice second half here. Hobbs has that one knocked away. Newhouse up the floor. Jason will pull up. That shot blocked by Jones. Is Lamar able to reel it in for Roy. Lamb with it will pass out. Three-pointer on the way for Nalder. Front of the iron, no good. Rebound brought in by Riley Griffiths for Logan. Jackson Anderson with it here. As they get the ball over to Brimhall. Looking to drive. Good D put on by Jones. Not allowing much of a lane there. Is a foul here on the take by Griffiths. This foul will be called on Lamar. First foul on Lamar. He will take a breather as Jacob Payne has checked in for him. Meanwhile, at the line, Riley Griffiths goes 1 of 2 on the trip. It's a 50-34 Logan advantage. 6.5 remaining here in the contest. Nalder to Jones. Payne over to Hobbs. Thought he might want that 3. Instead, he's able to reverse it and lay it up and in. Cody Hobbs with 6 points for the Royals. Mentioned leads the team in scoring coming in, but it's been a tough night for him tonight. He's been hounded by this Logan D. It's done a fantastic job. Really creating difficult shots for the senior guard. Is now Jackson in a timeout. Another one taken here by the Grizzlies. Out of the Logan timeout. Here's Jackson with it again, being trapped. Able to step through it. Now he'll just float that up and in. Nice recognition by the senior that time. Had a couple Royals around him. Knew if he could just get some space, he'd have a lane, and that he did. How about that little spin move by Lamb? Couldn't get it to finish. And it's Jackson with the rebound. So he will come back and take this near midcourt. Again, that trap. Able to step through, kicks out to Jason. Underneath, Tyler couldn't handle the pass, and it's just turned over now to Hobbs and the Royals. Going the other way, feeds it over to Jones. Back to Cody Hobbs, kicked out. Thought about the 3 now. Dakota Nalder will take it. Front of the rim, no good. Lamb with the putback. That is. And Blake Nat Lamb now with 12 points to lead all scorers for the Royals. 52-38, 4.5 remaining. Larson with it. Jones just coming up and bodying him as we get the foul called here on Nate Jones. Anderson gets it over to Larson. Has some space from 17. That shot no good. Rebound by Newhouse. Takes a dribble. Goes back up strong. And Brad Newhouse having a solid effort here tonight. Midway through the fourth quarter, Cody Hobbs with the 3-pointer. Back of the iron. As Lamb trying to chase that down. It will roll to Hobbs as Lamb hit the floor again. Kicked out. That pass too tall for Lamar and turned over. Great hair on display tonight here at Logan High is Jackson Anderson with the full beard. That's impressive. And the mane as well as Brimhall growing it out as we have a foul here. Going to be called on Lamb. Brimhall looking to inbound. Will do so to Jackson. Is now Brimhall. Ball swung. Jason Anderson, little pull-up. Shot no good. Chases down the board. Goes back up strong. How about that finish by the junior guard, Jason Anderson, as the bucket will count, and he'll head to the line off of the foul. Second foul on Nate Jones. The 5th team foul on the Royals is at the line. Jason Anderson converts the 3-point play, 57-38. And Logan has been really strong here in this second half. Cody Hobbs with the drive. Contact there as Hobbs now will head to the line to shoot. Third foul on Jason Anderson as James Larson checks back in for Logan. Hobbs at the line, goes 1 of 2 as he missed his second free throw there. Jackson able to break the pressure, driving to the hoop. That ball deflected out off of Logan. Larson able to inbound underneath. That ball knocked away by Lamb. Good hands defensively as Brimhall showing his footy skill. Hobbs. Pass to Nalder in the corner. Baseline drive. Given off to Lamb. That shot blocked by Brimhall. The interior D, well, really the defense of Logan all night has been fantastic. That time, Anderson, Brimhall able to collapse and deflect the shot as now Newhouse with the drive. Left-handed! And Brad Newhouse now in double figures as he has 11 points in the ball game. Nalder, three-pointer. That one's good for Dakota Nalder. He's a kid who can hit that shot, never afraid to take it. Well, tonight it's been a bit of a rough shooting night for the senior. As there's Brimhall, beautiful cut to find an open lay-in for Tyler Brimhall. Two minutes left, 61-42. Now Lamb going to take the trifecta with the bank. And Blake Lamb got off to a bit of a slow start, now has 15 points. Tied for the game high with Jackson at this point. Nearly stolen, and foul going to be called here on Nalder. Line change for the Roy Royals. We will call out their names as they impact the ball game. Here is Anderson trying to work against Cody Toon, as Anderson will dribble it back out. Brimhall working around the screens, being guarded by Garrett Peterson. So we're now down to 1:20 remaining, 61-45. Still the Logan High advantage. Brimhall in the post, help defense comes, kicks out, three-pointer on the way. That shot no good by Jason Anderson, tipped by Brimhall and into the hands of, we believe, Daniel Peleis. As bodies hit the floor again, it will be Logan ball. And now a line change for the Grizzlies. We mentioned the great hair on display tonight. And how about number 12, Jaden Frazier, the 6'4 junior. That is him with it there as Peleis came up and just ran into him, but gotta love the throw. Foul was on Peleis, is at the line. Jaden Frazier goes 1 of 2 as this ball out of bounds off of Roy. Will be Logan ball out again. Frazier to inbound in the corner to Austin Dersch, dribbles it out. Under a minute remaining here in the game. Dersch happy to just dribble this out, take some time off the clock. Over to Elliott Wilmore. Now it's Blossom Black. Jamari Blossom Black, number 35, had it, passed it off to Austin Dersch again. Dersch trying to dribble around the defense here. Nearly stolen, and a foul going to be called here on Cody Toon with 28 seconds left. At the line, Austin Dersch, 2 of 2. 64-45. As up the ball, up the floor to Peterson, now out to Toon. Near side here with Rex Carpenter. Working around the Peleis screen. Now it's Tyler Skidmore with it, trying to go against Jamari Blossom Black. Kicked out. Garrett Peterson. Again, Skidmore trying to work the post, able to save it, but couldn't find a teammate on the play, and then Skidmore going to be called here, picking up his first personal. Dersch makes both free throws. 2 seconds left. The horn sounds, and this one is final. The Logan Grizzlies have now won 6 straight games to put themselves right up with Mountain Crest in the driver's seat here in Region 5. 66-45 victors over the Roy Royals.